Well, happy Saturday, folks. The real Captain Kirk here. We're live from One Bethlehem Plaza here in downtown Bethlehem here on the 14th of Saturday here. Again, ton to cover here today, so we're going to move at warp speed. But again, if you like summer, you've got 7 days left. And if you like fall, you've got 7 days left until it arrives here next weekend, Sunday at 8:44 in the morning on the East Coast. Our rooftop weather cameras here catch some neat things at times, and again caught the Polaris Dawn Falcon 9 rocket streaming by the entire East Coast here earlier this week. Again, local fan favorite Jared Isaacman is the commander of the spaceship and also the CEO of Shift4 Payments right here in Lehigh Valley. So again, neat to see him streaming by. Again, his hometown here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Our studio's been getting a ton of work out here lately. We've had several TV shows here with FOX26 Houston, FOX29 Philly, NBC 12 News. So again, it's been a busy week here in the studio here. But check out the very long segment we just did with FOX29 Philly. And again, talking everything business weather, consumer weather, volcanoes, you name it, we talked about it. For some new folks here on YouTube, again, not aware of what we do. Again, core competency year ahead weather, but we have a neat 14-day landing page called Quickcast. Again, so if you go to Weather Trends 360 Quickcast, gives you all the details about the next 7 days hourly, next 14 days. You can pick up to, I think, about 46 weather maps here to animate these maps from radar to satellite, UV, soil moisture, you name it, we do it. Neat blog, and then some videos down below. So again, check out Quickcast. Again, it's one of our most popular consumer-facing pages in our web portal for our Fortune 500 clients. CAT2 Hurricane Francine made headline news here this week, making landfall in Houma, Louisiana, heading toward New Orleans. Again, there's a CAT2. Again, I think they had upwards of near 80-mile-an-hour wind gust in the New Orleans area, and flooding rain was the biggest impact here with Francine. Sadly, again, this is the third landfalling system in the U.S., fourth if you count Bermuda, and we're not out of the woods here yet. Again, so this is the typical hurricane season. Again, the reds are the hurricanes, yellows the storms. So we're about 105 days into the season, 77 days to go. Again, we had a lull there, and from after Ernesto up until Francine, but there are at least 5 systems potential here in the next 2 weeks, and potential system off the Carolina coast, and a potential system later next week for Florida and again, again back to the Carolina coast. So areas that have had flooding from Debbie, again, don't need any more hurricanes, and sadly we do think there will be more. So this is kind of where our year ahead projection was. The threat areas was Texas, Louisiana, South Florida, the Carolinas, and Bermuda, and obviously the entire Caribbean. So again, we've had where we thought there'd be the most damage risk, those red areas, is again exactly pretty much where these storms and hurricanes have made landfall. So again, doing pretty well on that front. And again, sadly, we do not think we are out of the woods just yet. Again, NOAA's tracking a system off the Carolina coast, giving it a 50-50 chance here becoming the next named storm here. So we'll see. And then Gordon's way out there in the Atlantic. We'll see if Gordon can survive, but it's going to meander out there in the Atlantic for a week or so. If we look at the 14-day storm track, again, we see at least 5 systems out there. And again, a couple bigger threats for the East Coast, Florida to the Carolinas up the East Coast. So got to watch that. And again, you got to be careful here because things can flare up very quickly, giving you no warning, maybe a day or two advance notice, and next thing you know, you've got a hurricane barreling in. So again, something to be mindful of here as we get into the core of the season. Polar vortex coming back to life again, so it's typical this time of year across the North Pole. You see its vortex starts to develop. Again, we're expecting this thing will be a little bit weaker this year, and that just means a little more frequent cold intrusions into North America, Canada, U.S. Look at last week World Summer here, week ending here today, the 14th. Here in the U.S., it was second week in a row here of cooler trends, 0.3 cooler than last year on the national scale. Still 12th warmest, 39 years. 17% drier, driest in 3, 13 driest in 39. So, but again, tale of two halves here. Again, you see the East Coast was, big map here now is trends versus last year. So East Coast, South, South Central, Southeast. Quite a bit colder than last year, favorable for those early fall seasonal sales. Again, we had some more 40s here again this week, so a chilly start. In fact, the Northeast, first 11 days of September was the coldest in 31 years, I believe. So again, very, very cold. Maps inset left are the trends versus average. We look at this week again, week ending 21 September here. All eyes are going to be on the tropics here, and for sure the first part of it's going to be the Carolinas. We'll see if this system can develop. Again, still showing quite a bit of rain no matter what it does. 3, 4, 5 inches of rain in areas that got hit hard by Debbie, so we don't really want that much rain. U.S. overall, again, we're looking about 3 degrees warmer than last year, so you see the cooling trend in the west. They'll take it, and the heat moves into the plains. So kind of a very transient pattern here, so don't expect anything to last too long. Overall, warmest in 5 years, 5th warmest in 39 on a national scale. Cool spots again remain in the mid-Atlantic southeast. Again, a lot of that's due to rain, and then the west coast, actually, they're very strong potential seasonal sales. We've tracked here the 32-degree index and a 90-degree Fahrenheit index for the U.S. And again, both are down, again, compared to this time last year. And rainfall's actually up 19%, wettest in 3 years, 13th driest in 39. So heavy rain there coming into the plains, and again, coming into that'll end the heat wave that's impacting them, and the rain in the Carolinas. Harvest season is full underway here, again, for farmers out there, so God bless these folks. Again, hard job for sure. Again, harvesting a record, potentially shattering crop yields this year, as expected. Corn Belt overall, I think, was the coolest, wettest in 5-6 years, so a lot of hype about the heat, but again, where the corn was grown from Iowa to Illinois, Indiana, again, coolest and wettest in 6 years. So again, great growing conditions overall. This week, overall here, again, for the last full week of September, again, trending a bit warmer, almost identical actually to last year, 0.1 warmer than last year, warmest in 5, 7th warmest in 39, and rainfall again almost as average as last year too, similar to last year. So 14th wettest in 39 years. And again, those hot days and really cold days are still down. In fact, 90-degree days are the at least in almost a decade here. So again, heavy rain again. We have to watch this for Florida and the East Coast here to see if we get a tropical hurricane type system. Again, as the models are hinting at, again, way out there. So again, a lot of things will change between now and then. And then we look at the world 2-week outlook here. Again, just aggregating. You gotta be careful because we're aggregating warms and colds, so it's a very transient pattern. But theme is going to be a little bit cooler in the west. Heat in the plains will move into the northeast and again exit pretty quickly. Very, very cold there that they had recently in the UK. In fact, it was the coldest in 30 years here this past week. So again, a warming trend across the UK and parts of Europe, and precip trends inset left there. And again, we see this very heavy rain, again, still well above average rainfall all across. In fact, rain in the desert is just crazy, the Sahara Desert, but very wet across Africa. So these just intimate that we got systems coming out into the Atlantic, and these are the Cape Verde season, and these can be big hurricanes. So we'll see. Again, we've got 2+ months here of the hurricane season left, so I wouldn't get lulled to sleep here thinking that we're out of the woods, because we're not. So with that, folks, we hope you have a great week ahead, and we'll be back here again this time next week.